You too are a lovely being. Be free, you can spread your wings. You too can do anything your heart desires. Thank you, lovely being, for joining me in this self-rediscovery. You too are a lovely being. Hello, lovely beings. Happy whatever day it is that you are tuning in and hearing this. I'm grateful to be sitting, doing, being, speaking, and for you to be here. Thank you for tuning in today. I know it's been some time. I take my breaks, and now I am building up my consistency once again. So I'm going for once a month, once or twice a month podcast. We shall see. I have lots of recorded audio that I have yet to share, so I may just start turning those into mini episodes. But nonetheless, thank you for being here. And my intention today, my purpose for creating this is to reflect on going from constant thinking, constant anxiousness to being in a state of stillness. The topic of today is stillness, and it's something I've been sitting with, reflecting on, and learning about for the past couple of months. God has been telling me to be still, and I've been learning what that means for me. And I've come a ways in my journey with stillness as someone who is so used to being like on 10 all the time and doing, going, being, moving. To learn how to be still has really shifted my mindset, my perspective on productivity and just like day-to-day living. And yeah, that's what I wanted to share today. So I'm going to take my time and speak on it. Stillness can bring a lot into your awareness. When I first think of the word stillness, I literally think just like physical, right? Body posture. Like right now I'm sitting cross-legged, sitting upright. My breath is easily flowing through my body. Don't you just love deep breaths? And I am being still, but stillness is more than a meditation. And it can help you to hear more of your inner voice, your intuition, the voice that's on the inside. And it's really important that we're able to hear that voice, right? Our internal guide, our internal voice, your intuition, your compass, having a disconnect between yourself, your being, and that inner voice can cause a lot of like frustration, confusion, a lot of disarray in your life. And it doesn't have to be that way. In a way of like overcoming that is to find that voice. And I've been able to listen to my intuition more and strengthen it by literally like doing nothing. By doing nothing more often. By like at times literally forcing myself to do nothing and just to be still and to be quiet and to just take in what is around me, whether that be sounds, whether that be a feeling, whether that, just a vibe. Sometimes, a lot of times, all we need when we're not feeling like ourselves, even when we are feeling like ourselves, but oftentimes all we need to bring ourselves back into balance is stillness, to be quiet, to go within, to turn in within to yourself. And I found through my growth in stillness and seeking it more often that it's like food for your spirit. I practice fasting as well. Fasting looks different for everybody. It could literally just be abstaining from pick a thing, right? But usually I'll fast, I'll abstain from eating for most of the day until the sun goes down. I'll do this about once a week, a couple times a month. And I found at times when I'm fasting consistently and really seeking stillness, it's often a good time to just sit and be with yourself because you're not eating. You don't have to focus on replenishing your body. It gives you time to replenish your spirit and strengthen your intuition because you're just sitting with yourself. And I know when I talk about this, I feel kind of not cringy, but I'm aware of how hard it is to sit, to be still, even not in the literal sense of sitting and not moving, but just to not be doing anything. I feel like that's really hard for people to do, myself included, which is why I knew I had to start doing it, because it's also really helped me with rushing and taking my time. I'm working on being more articulate and not rushing through my speech, not rushing when I physically moving, so I can be more careful and mindful of where my limbs are going, not, I'm kind of clumsy, so being still and practicing stillness has helped a lot with that, because I don't want to rush. Good things take time, right? So why rush? But it's really helped build my inner voice, because like I said, when I'm fasting, which is what brought me to this realization, when I began fasting consistently and I would meditate, I would just sit with myself in the quiet, I started to really feel my inner energy. And I recognized that sometimes it's hard to feel your inner and hear your intuition because we're made of matter and we consume a lot. So when you're eating food or you're watching things, you're listening to things, that's consumption. Being around other people, you're consuming energy. So to find stillness in your day, to just be with yourself, you're not consuming anything, it helps feed your spirit. It helps to feed and strengthen. That's what strengthens your intuition, I think, at least for me. And through an expansion of your intuition and being able to hear yourself, your true self, you're able to make better decisions, I feel like. I used to be the type of person that would go to other people to tell me whether or not I should do things. And for the past couple of years, I've really been in the practice of strengthening that muscle of making my own decisions and being comfortable with the decisions that I make. And I've realized that a large part of why I wasn't trusting myself to make my own decisions is because I had a disconnect between me and my inner voice, my inner guide, my intuition. And stillness has really helped me with that. And I know I'm repeating stillness, stillness, stillness. For me, being still could be going for a walk. For me, being still could literally be sitting down on a comfy pillow in my bed, on a chair, closing my eyes and just taking breaths and just focusing on breathing. Falling into a meditation if need be, but sometimes it's just pausing. I feel like pauses might be a better word. Having pauses within your life and just allowing yourself to kind of not do or consume for extended periods of time, I found to be really, really beneficial for my health, for my mind. It's changed my mindset completely on what it means to be productive and what productivity looks like. Because I find myself more productive when I do less in a day. If I dedicate at least 15, 30 minutes a day to stillness, anything I apply my energy to where I'm having to do more, those things will be better. The work or the creations will be better because I'm able to fully focus and give my energy to it because I am not like all over the place. Helps just like center yourself and bring yourself back to balance. And ways that I've been seeking stillness lately is like through reading, through yoga. Really been practicing my headstands lately, and that helps a lot with stillness because you're literally inverted, upside down, feet up in the air. It's so exhilarating, but it's also really powerful because when I'm like that in that posture, upside down, feet in the air, feet pointed to the ceiling, it's like I have to be still in order to maintain that posture. And in that stillness, so much has come through. I've been able to release a lot that way as well. And I just feel like your thoughts kind of slow down a bit when you take the time to just not be. Some people find it scary to sit with themselves. And I challenge you, if you may be one of those people, or you know someone who's like that, just to kind of encourage them or do it with them. Like, you can seek stillness in community, you know? You can go be with your friends and y'all all can just sit and hold space for one another. I aspire to have those types of communal interactions in my future. I'm working up to that. I've been trying to be more social lately. But yeah, you don't have to do this in isolation. For me, I thrive in my solitude, and I do a lot of things by myself. But I do recognize that, not everything has to be done alone. So you could try this with your friends, with your partner. Just being. Something else that stillness has taught me is that rest is it's a form of resting, right? It's really important to rest. It restores you. It's literally like restoration, resting. It restores you, which means that you're going to receive energy back from not doing, from taking a pause, from taking extended breaths, from giving yourself a moment to not consume or be communicating or be listening or be doing. Taking those pauses is a form of rest, and to rest isn't just to sleep. You shouldn't only be getting rest when you sleep. Implementing rest within your day through stillness, through being quiet, through being mindful, and different mindful practices, like whatever that is for you, it helps strengthen your mind, body, and spirit connection. For me, it really has helped me to strengthen my mind, my body, and my spirit connection. Because when you're tired, sometimes you don't even have to be physically tired, so you can be mentally tired. Cultivating stillness within your day-to-day life helps with that mental tiredness, the fatigue that you can get from just being awake and interacting with people, sometimes not even interacting with people. So yeah, I want to close out on a spirit-filled thought, which is that the main benefit of stillness is it gives you time to hear not only your inner voice, but it gives you time to tune your ear to the voice of Source, to the voice of God. That voice that's always, it's not even just a voice. I'm using that as more of as a figure of speech. But you can feel the presence of God, of your spirit, more when you're not in the midst of doing things constantly and incessantly. And I've found that when I am still, I have less worry, I have less stress, and I'm able to just be. And yeah, stillness is where it's at. Now, that's pretty much all I got for today. Those are my thoughts. Those are my feels on stillness. I hope that you were able to take something away from this talk, and that it opened up your mind a bit or added on to your current sentiment or thoughts and feelings about stillness and meditation and rest and what that looks like, especially now in this season. We're in the winter. It is the time to be resting. That's something I didn't talk about. Now is the time to be still, more now than ever. Like, even if you're not in a cold climate, we're in the season of winter. Like, in the US, it is winter. And no matter if you're in a sunny climate every day or not, it's still winter time, and this is the season for rest, reflection, just being within, and restoring your energy. So despite all the new year hype, this is the time to pause. So yeah, take a pause today, take a breath today, and while you're at it, what are you grateful for today? What's your token of gratitude for today in this moment? What are you grateful for? That's something you can sit with while you're being still. You can just think about things you're grateful for, or speak on things that you're grateful for. That's something that I've been doing within my practice of stillness. I'll just think of things I'm grateful for, moments, words, experiences, people, things, no matter. For me, today and every day, I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for my life. Thank you, lovely being, for tuning in with me today. And I'll be back with the next one. Till then, as always, love, sunshine, peace. Thank you, lovely being, for joining me in the self-rediscovery. You too are a lovely being.